Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. All right, let me see who was here first. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. And let me see who else was here. Kathy, Gabby, Lady T, Lola Love. Let's see, who else? Gwendolyn Daniels and Robin Hyde, Cindy Jacobs, and a host of other friends. Okay, so I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. See who was here last. Elaine Parker says hi to a bunch of people, and we're always glad to help out with that. Okay. Um, there we go. There we go. The People's Prince. The People's Prince. Prince Harry. As a matter of fact, if you Google the People's Prince, who comes up? Let me see. People's Prince. Let me see here. Why Prince Harry comes up? Isn't that interesting? Okay, People's Prince. People's Prince. Well, mostly it's Prince Harry. Okay. Yeah, Prince Harry is the People's Prince. All right, very good. So, with that, yeah, go out of the chat and come back in. I don't even know what that's for, but yes, do that. Hey, Lydia Washington, Susie Q, Deborah Robinson, Sugar Plum, Marshall is here, Dansby one. All right, thank you. Oh my goodness, how did I leave that in the middle text? That was a mistake. Let me see there. It was. See what I get for being in a hurry? That's what I get for being in a hurry. I left text in the middle, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. Like right now. I'm just kidding. There's nothing I can do about it right now, or can I? All right, so let's go on now that I see that. Now, take a look there. You may notice that Prince Harry is wearing some official um, headgear for the Archwell. Yes, he is wearing a Archwell hat. Now, I'm pretty sure that that is something that is distributed among the people within their company. So, um, without doing something nefarious, I doubt if there's any of us that's likely to ever get one. But yeah, it's too bad because I'm pretty sure a lot of squatties would be all over that like a cheap suit. I wouldn't mind having one, that's for sure. I mean, an official Archwell, anything. But yeah, that's just for staff only. And anyway, at some point, you never know. They might open it up to the public, but I wouldn't mind having one. And no, I'm not trying to fix that slide. I'm not stalling so I could fix that slide. I'm not doing that right now. I'm going to do that later, as in now. No, I got other stuff to get to. It's okay. I am not that big of a perfectionist, as evident by my wardrobe. I am not that big of a perfectionist. Am I? No. Almost got it. Almost got it. All right. But that's okay. I'll do it later because I got work to do. It's not, I do not have obsessive, what is it? Compulsive obsessive disorder. I do not have that. Wow, that looks good. Wow, got it. All right. Hello, Sharon Chung, MJB, Joy Amore. Thank you so much for being here. Joy wants to say hi to a few people. Okay, now let's go on to the next slide, shall we? But yeah, that is an Archwell hat, and of course, the tabloid media. I think they wrote an entire article about that hat. Now, take a look here. You can see Harry arriving. Now, I would like to see some flowers. Yeah, flowers is easy. How many of y'all have ever been to Japan? How many of y'all have ever flown into, well, I think they have several big airports, but uh, is it Narari Airport? Is that the one that most people arrive in Tokyo? If you've been there, can you confess to how busy that place is? Not to mention that this crowd that you see, yeah, everybody is focused on Harry. But when you arrive to Japan, it feels like they're waiting for you. It really does. When I went to Japan back in 2019, I think it was, um, no, I'm sorry, 2020, because it was just before the global pandemic started. There was a camera crew there, and they asked me if it was my first time in Japan and what brings you to Japan. I think it's a television show. Now, I tried to find the video. I don't think they used it actually, but I went and found I think it's like What Brings You to Japan or something like that, but it's actually a show. And I tried to find myself, you know, from when they interviewed me, but I'm telling you, it really caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. So, this is a welcome that is definitely for VIP, but there are some times when they will take a look at a person like myself and say, he doesn't look Japanese to me. And, and next thing you know, they have a microphone in your face. So um, that's what this reminds me of. Marketing in Japan is a big deal. And if you notice let me see, what is the next slide? No, not that one yet. But yeah, um, just the way things are packaged and the way things are presented, the signage and everything is slightly jarring and just a little bit overwhelming. Um, Now, it's not to say that everything looks like you're in Las Vegas, but if you're a minimalist, which is strange because when you think of Japan, you kind of think everybody's pretty much a minimalist. But if you're a minimalist, you would probably feel jittery, especially if you have a phobia about clutter. Like if you go into a shop or something like that, the packaging on the food, the advertisements is a bunch of words and images and bright colors and stuff. They don't do anything by half. And so, oh no, you know what I just noticed? Not only did I cut off one of his fingers. This is going from bad to worse. You know what? I got to stop looking at that slide. Did you guys notice that? Wait. Take a look. Not only did I look, oh, okay, here it's not messed up. Wait a minute, that is weird. Okay, on the other, oh, I know what I see. That's because I'm sitting up here trying to do exactly what I told y'all I'm not doing. Never mind. I'm going to stop paying attention to that and I'll fix it later. I'm sure nobody would have noticed it had I not said anything. Oh, okay. Deep breaths and a sip of Dr. Pepper. Just pretend like you didn't see it. Okay, I didn't see it. Now, right here. Wait, that's not it yet. Oh, yeah, I did. Prince Harry rocks an Archwell Foundation baseball cap as he arrives in Japan for Sports Summit. And this is People Magazine, I think. Yeah, they could have opened with anything, but they had to mention his hat. And they're not the only ones. There's a couple of other places where I've seen articles that mentions his hat. So on Tuesday, the Duke of Sussex was filmed arriving at Haneda Airport. Okay, that's not the one that I arrived in Japan, ahead of the ISPS Sports Values Summit, special edition on August the 9th. He was joined by his brother and polo star, Ignacio Nacho Figueres, who is also participating in the summit. Not to mention um, the what do you call it? The international face of Ralph Lauren polo, but that's another story. Prince Harry wore a polo. I'm sorry, wore a polo. It should be shouldn't it be a polo shirt? Prince Harry wore a polo shirt and baseball cap featuring the logo for Archwell Foundation and the organization he created with his wife, Meghan Markle. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced in April 2020, shortly after they officially stepped back as senior royals the previous month, and their new foundation would be called Archwell, a name that shares a connection with their son Archie. In a statement, they explained how they decided on the name, which predates their son's name. Now, here it says, like you, our focus on supporting efforts to tackle global pandemic, can't say the C word, I don't think, but faced with this information coming to light, we felt compelled to share the story of how this came to be, the couple said in a statement. So before Sussex Royal came the idea of arch, the Greek word meaning source of action. So arch means source of action. And so they came up with the name Archwell. So there you go. And let's see here. Deidre Monkey says, Baron, I was there for work, and yes, it's busy, and visitors stand out. My coworkers and I stopped several times for pictures. I think they thought my tall blonde coworker was famous. See what I mean? Yes, it's like. Thank you for saying that. Because I thought it was just me. That's why I'm asking people because I felt as though they were waiting for me when I got there. And people, oh boy, I tell you, in Japan, people are the most polite. That is like one of the most polite societies in the world. Now, they are a bit standoffish in some cases. They are very standoffish, especially if you get away from the cities, I'm told. But in the city, people are a little more cosmopolitan, but away from the city, Bunny Rose says, I grew up in Japan. Wow. Wow, that is amazing. I would love to hear stories about that. I have watched so many videos from people that live in Japan, Americans that move there, or sometimes biracial Japanese people who have relatives in the US and relatives in Japan. Very fascinating to me. Um, yeah, polite, safe, but yeah, sometimes I hear now, mind you, all of that I just said, I did not experience that. I did not experience that. I didn't. I've heard people say that sometimes people may not want to sit next to you on a train, and not just because you're black. They do that to some white people too, where there's just that and then too, as Americans, sometimes we can slide in on people's space without being aware of cultural differences or something like that. Or maybe we get off the plane and smell. I don't know. But sometimes people don't want to sit next to you. And ironically, that was the last time I was on a plane before the pandemic. And at the time, they were talking about this bug that people were getting. And I think I showed you guys that photo of the face mask that I saw in Japan. And this was before the pandemic because there was always like a big section in the store there where you could buy a face mask. So, for various reasons, not necessarily because, you know, but that is one of the reasons. Okay, so yeah, that's enough about that. Let me go to the. Oh, by the way, you guys, I kind of I know some of you all, most of y'all have probably seen it, but if not, I, um, what do you call it? I did a video for the arrival, and it's not much different from everybody else's, but I'll share it with you anyway. How about that? And then I won't go and try to fix that thumbnail, okay? I'm not going to mess with that thumbnail. Oh, wait, here it goes.
How would you like to be in Japan for the first time in 4 years?
Nice to see you again.
とてもかっこよかったです。それとプリンスハリー、プリンセスダイアナって言ったらこっちの方振り向いてくれてこの写真を見てくれたので。とてもかっこよかったです。それとプリンスハリー、プリンセスダイアナって言ったらこっちの方振り向いてくれてこの写真を見てくれたのですごく良かったです。握手がちょっとできなかったのがすごく残念でしたけどすごい感激しました。
You know, I always have to have one of those barren endings, don't I? Always a barren ending. Yeah, that royal Sussex ending. Oh man, I don't know why I do that, but sometimes when I'm editing, I just like get so carried away. I'm like, oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Hey, Sherry. Oh, see that my phone just did it again. Watch. Hey, Sherry. Oh, now see, when I wanted to do it, it won't do it. Oh, RH. Thank you so much for the PayPal. Thank you so much for the PayPal. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. Very cool. All right. Taking a look at a couple of comments. And we're good. We're good. Won't they sneak up on you? Won't they sneak up on you? Yeah. I wonder how many days in advance of Harry's trip did they show up? I do wonder. And how long were they at the airport? But then they said that some people were tracking the flight. So, you know, that, well, anyway, it is what it is, right? But yeah, that's something to consider, is that wherever he goes, there's bound to be something like that happens. I'm pretty sure that one reporter that always asked those very vicious questions to Meghan, that Pap guy, I bet you he's not even allowed to travel outside of the country right now. I think he is a U.S. citizen. And considering what I've heard about his shady past, I'm pretty sure he cannot travel outside of the country right now. I'd be impressed if he could leave the state of New York, let alone travel outside the country. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the super sticker. Right. And continuing. So, I'm not sure if this is a squatty or not, because I checked. I don't think they were following anybody that I know of. But welcome to Japan, Prince Harry. I put my favorite handmade brooch on my work bag today. How cool is that? They decided to celebrate Harry's arrival to get out their handmade brooch and put it on their work bag. Very, very cool. I love that. Um, Speaking of love, the letter K, I'll just give that initial. Thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Wait, who? Who's traveling to London soon? Is there going to be another well child? Oh, I had heard something about well child, and oh my goodness. Well, yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Well, last time when he was in the UK, when he went to court, I did point out that I saw royal protection officers. They had a motorcade for him, and I think that they must have had a conversation with the journalists, I'm being polite saying journalists, with the magazines, the tabloids, or whatever, because there was no following him to and from the courthouse. So something has happened, and I do think that they would rather avoid that embarrassment over there. I'm just going to try to be optimistic about that. Any visits over there, I'm going to try to be optimistic about it. Of course, if I see anything wrong, I am going to sing like Aretha Franklin. But I'm going to try to be optimistic about that. But I did notice that there was, when the car pulled away from the courthouse, as soon as they turned out to the city street, then because it's like a little courtyard there, like a little cul-de-sac kind of situation for the entrance. And when they pulled away, then there was a royal protection detail or whatever behind them. So that was interesting. So I think he'll be okay. Anfu, thank you. Thank you. Bless you too. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. No, no, not Harry. I'm talking about the stalker guy. Oh yeah. He's a piece of work, that guy. And the thing is, if you ever meet him, or if I do it first, I'm just gonna tell him, I thought you were a broad. I did. I thought that was some big loudmouth broad, not a woman, not a lady, but a big loudmouth broad. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like some nosy neighbor. Harry! It does. It sounds like that loudmouth neighbor that loves to come out and hang up the laundry and won't put a bra on. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like someone who doesn't wear a, a brassiere and comes out and hangs up the clothes with a cigarette hanging out the corner of her mouth and a rag tied on her head. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like some, freaky guy somewhere. It sounds like some old broad. Oh yeah. Well, Church Nelly, I have a gift for you later. Wait until you see. I have a gift for you. But anyway, speaking of old broads, uh, yes, Susie Q, they do. I saw an interview with him, and he said that sometimes before he sends those photos to the tabloids, his hands are shaking because he's thinking about how much money he's going to make. Okay, so right here, you can see there's something in one of their papers. I don't know what it says, but I tried to translate it, but it didn't make sense what I translated. And then, of course, there's a sweet lady right there. Maybe you noticed her in the video, but yeah, she's there with her. I guess it's a magazine. Looks like a Japanese magazine. And is that the photo from the day Harry was born? Did she wear red on that day? Oh, let me take a look really fast. Um, Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to see. Yes, that's what she wore. She wore the red the day Harry was born. Okay. So that makes sense. So this lady has been I guess following Harry's life ever since he was born. How sweet is that? And then she shows up at the airport with the magazine. I am getting goosebumps. I love that. I love that. But you know, a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's so many of us that just love Princess Diana, and we don't even know why. And it had nothing to do with a tragic ending, is how she lived her life. That love, that mourning that people felt, it was very genuine. And there were some people that didn't know how much they loved Princess Diana until she was gone. But she just had that kind of presence and that kind of spirit about her. And there's like so many people in this world that you could imagine that you would see from day to day. And it's just like, no big deal. But Diana, you're thumbing through a magazine, you stop what you're doing. You see her on TV, you stop what you're doing. Um, Terry, you're going to have to move because I promise you it's not getting any better. You're going to have to move. And whoever your poor neighbor is, um, I, like I say, gravity is not everybody's friend. So, but I'll make a suggestion. Tell your neighbor that if she can't hold him up, tell her to stuff him in her waistband or something. Put a belt around it or something, especially when there's kids around. She'll frighten the children. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, yeah, the deuce and a quarter, Big Mama. Yeah, the deuce and a quarter. Okay, I'm going to go on then. So, right here, this is what Omid Scobie posted today. And it is very cool that you can see that fighting, finding freedom. See, I'm smiling and I can't get the words out. Finding freedom has been translated into Japanese. It has been translated into Japanese. And let me see here. What does that say there? Lots of fans waiting for Harry in arrival. The royal family have always had a big following in Japan, especially Princess Diana, and interest in the Sussexes continue to be strong. Fun fact, Finding Freedom is one of the few royal books to get a full Japanese release. How about that? Congratulations to you, Omid. Congratulations. That is outstanding. And well deserved, I would say. Oh, Alicia, thanks for saying that. Thank you for saying that. And I hope this is a good trip for Harry. I pray it's a good trip for him. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to move on then. And okay, so this is 2019. Let me stress, this is 2019. And so in 2019, you know that Harry had married just the year before So this is probably one of the I would I would say one of the first big trips that he took. I don't think Megan was there. I think it was without Megan. So yeah, this would be a big trip without Megan. And I honestly don't recall Harry going to Japan in 2019, but I have to remind myself 2019 was an extremely stressful, busy year for me, life changing year for me. So, a lot of things had happened. So it's no wonder that I missed that. But so this is new to me. I have not seen this before. And right there, Prince Harry had the sweetest response to a student calling him handsome in Japan. Now, I actually have that response available. Let me see here. Yes, this is the right one. 'So you may have noticed the gesture with the wedding band, just to remind remind them that he's married. And this, of course, is the lady that greeted him when he arrived. So that was from the very beginning of. It's a much longer video, but yeah, and you could see him. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, when he's taking the photo here, you could actually there she is right there. That was the lady that greeted him. So yeah, that was very cool. That was very, very cool. All right. And let me get back over here. And right there, you can still see a little bit more. He had a great time. They loved, loved, loved Harry. Let's see. Tanja Marshall says the Japanese can relate to Harry having their own princess leave the monarchy for love. Yeah, there's that too. Although I have never heard how people felt about that. Sometimes we can celebrate something for one person, like having a monarchy. Like I say, we love the idea of monarchs and castles and everything like that, except for two things. Number one, when they mess with Meghan, that kind of takes the shine off of that. And the other thing is, if we had a choice to have them or not have them, like a lot of Republicans in the UK would say, well, would you want them over there? And most Americans are like, no, but they're fun. Isn't it interesting? Yeah, but would you want them? No, not really. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So I think it's kind of the same way because Japan, as far as I've known, Japan is very progressive about some things and ultra conservative and traditional about other things. And I have never heard one way or the other how they felt about their royal family. So that would be interesting to find out. So maybe I'll do a little homework on that because I've never seen like a poll or anything about, especially given the demographics, how many young people think that that's a good idea to have left. But I'm going to just guess that most of the young people are very supportive. Lydia says he needs to send that picture to all the Karens still sweating him and hating on Duchess Meghan. Amen to that. Amen to that. Okay. What is that? Just wondering how do you let this star? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, how do you let this star power walk out the door and insecure? Not my king, not my king. Thank you for that. And all right. So gonna move on. Now this is for Church Nelly. Nacho Figueres, the world's most famous polo player, has high goals for the future. I think this was a very recent magazine. No, it says January. I can't make out the year, but it's January something. Yeah, so not so recent, but the first time I've ever seen this cover. But then again, it's the first time I've ever seen that magazine. So, okay. My bad, January 2021 it appears, but still. So that means Church Nelly probably already seen this before, but yeah, there you go. That is Nacho. Just a natural. I'm pretty sure when he was a kid, no one could have convinced him that not only would he be the world's greatest polo player, but he would also be one of the most sought after models for a luxury brand like Ralph Lauren's Polo. And take a look there. I guess that is the Casa de Figueres or whatever, because it's a beautiful. That must be their home. That must be the Church Nelly. Did you notice how big his hands are? Church Nelly, look at the size of his hands, and they're not all puffy and full of fluid like a sovereign, but those are manly hands. Did you see that? They're huge. Now, that was Church Nelly's moment. That is Ellis Island, and surely you've heard of it before. Ellis Island, New York City. That building that looks like some turn of the century, the other turn of the century, monstrosity. It's a bit garish for my taste, but it's okay. Anyway, this is where so many people immigrated to the United States. That was the gateway to the United States for a lot of Europeans and very few Africans, of course, but a lot of Europeans came through Ellis Island. And by the way, very few Africans. All right. That being said, I am embarrassed about this. I am ashamed and embarrassed because this is, well, okay. Take a look there on the left side. This, I'm going to call her Karen. Escaping war zones, they really are mocking us. Look at all look at all their luggage. They have better suitcases than me. Shouldn't it be than I? And still, some people believe they are genuine refugees. Unbelievable. So I'm embarrassed for this person. This Karen, and this is in reference to the barge where Rishi Sunak and the rest of the gang, they want to appease the Brexiteers by pushing these people onto this barge, making sure that they're in something that's almost like a penal colony, so that they don't feel as though they're welcome in the United Kingdom. Shameful. And the reason why I mentioned Ellis Island is because this person obviously wants people to come crawling onto the shores of the United Kingdom, like those people that you see there that went through Ellis Island. These are photos from Ellis Island. And this is some people that come through Ellis Island. This is what people want. They want for people to come humbled, on bended knee, groveling, begging, pleading, and still you're not welcome to come in. Look at that. Now, and see, I've never seen that photo on the left before. Help me. Keep my husband here. He is a refugee facing death in Germany. He's too young to die. I'm too young to be a widow. Please sign petition. And then there on the right side, I am a refugee. I don't want to be tortured to death by the regime. I'll just say that. I'll be deported to Germany unless you stop it now. Please sign a petition. And this is the United States. And this is still the United States. This is not something that is just, restricted to other countries like Britain. This is the United States. And there's people that still feel that way. They don't care where you come from or what you've been through. They want you gone. They don't want you here, unless you're white. Let me get that right. If you're from Ukraine, you're welcome to come to the U.S. But if you're from South or Central America or the Caribbean, most of the MAGA people don't want you here. And there's a lot of people that are Democrats that don't want them here. But again, this lady is worried about what kind of luggage they have. I guess she doesn't realize that a lot of people that have luggage like that, the luggage was donated. There are people that donate luggage, bags, suitcases to families who have carried their stuff in bin liners and garbage bags. And in order for them to have a bit of dignity, they actually have clothes that are donated. And why would you donate clothes to people if you don't give them a way to carry it around? So a lot of that stuff is donations, secondhand stuff. But that doesn't make a difference because it's more important to make accusations and humiliate people. Okay, which brings me back to the United States. This I'm even more ashamed of. This is the southern border. And those barrels are actually a barrier between Mexico and the United States designed to drown people. Seriously, it is designed to drown people. There is something in between it that looks like a rotary saw, or it is the blades of a rotary saw. And the whole point of it is if you try to cross over that barrier, then you will get, I guess, latched on to those teeth on those, I guess, rotary saws, and it will pull you under. It will pull you under. And this is what the governor of Texas has put on the southern border. That's the United States. The anti-migrant sentiment is just as terrible here. But if you think about it, this country of 40 million people, most people can't trace their ancestors back more than a few generations for whatever reason, of course. But most people can't trace their ancestors back that far. That's disgusting. And there was a child that drowned because of this. And look at their luggage. I don't see any Louis Vuitton bags. I just see a few possessions and a backpack. 2-3 backpacks. That's their luggage. And that's what people are worried about. Look at their luggage. That's better luggage than I have. So yeah, it's not, I as much as I criticize the idea of the barge and such, we got our own problems right here in our own backyard, and that is absolutely disgusting and shameful. It is not illegal to seek asylum. It is not illegal to seek asylum. The United States, Britain, and just about every civilized country in the Western world are signatories to the convention that allows people to seek asylum, period, without putting them on barges or without trying to drown them in the Rio Grande. Shameful. Okay, so the other day I mentioned Windsong. You guys remember that? Windsong. I, of course, searched the fragrance Windsong because I don't know why I started singing it. I think I'm getting kind of old and weird. But if you remember the theme song, no, yeah, I can't seem to forget you. Your wind song stays on my mind. I can't seem to forget you. Your wind song stays on my mind. Well, take a look. Um, on eBay, someone's selling this. It's a 1958 Prince Machiavelli Windsong perfume bottle. And I don't know if you can see the print on this newspaper article that they clipped and added to the page or whatever for the ad for this one. But winner takes all. Lifetime supply. Miss Vera Keyborth, or is it Kyborth, sniffs the 47-ounce, $750 bottle of Windsong perfume, which she won in a drawing sponsored by, is it Mabley and Carew Company? J.D. Mullally, Mabley's president, presents the bottle, one of only two in the world. So this is one of only two in the world, to Mrs. Kyborth of 142 East Mitchell Avenue. St. Bernard is a housewife. And they even list her occupation. You could tell, let me tell you something. You can tell this is an old ad. You can tell how old this is. They list the address. Could you imagine them doing that now? They actually list her home address. They listed her occupation as housewife. I guess that's not, well, anyway, I think that's kind of old fashioned, very mid century. And let me see what else. And the fact that that bottle costs 700, and is it gold leaf? Is it layered in gold? Oh, you think so? You think it'd be all concentrated right now? It will be strong once you get to the bottom. Yeah. Let me see here. Marcia says, oh, that's for Church Nelly. I'm sorry. Sugar Plum says, asylum seekers often get called illegal migrants here. So wrong. Very different. Yeah, it is not illegal to seek asylum. It is not illegal. That term illegal is misplaced. It should not be used. It's designed to other people. And then let me see here. Baron, they come over. Nothing big companies donate to. When I was in Chicago working, the Venezuelan migrants, North Face and Canada Goose donated over 3,000 coats, hats, scarves, etc. See what I mean? Thank you, Leslie F. You get a bell for that. See what I mean? And you know, let's go back to that. It is so easy to drum up hate. I bet you this person, Susan, she knows better, but it's better to disparage them and mistreat them and other them than to assume the obvious that those were things that were donated. You know, one of the most touching things that I've ever seen, and I'm going to tell you, this one actually brought a tear to my eye. There's a guy who went through the, what do you call it? The foster home system. And he had lived in, I don't know, maybe 20 homes before he was adopted. And I can't remember, I'm trying to think if he was actually adopted or not. But anyway, in his youth, he had lived in like 20 different homes. And he has a charity that donates bags to children in foster care because he said, in spite of all the abuse that he went through, the thing that hurt him the most was the fact that they never gave him a proper bag. All of his stuff went into grocery bags, garbage bags, bin liners, whatever you want to call it, all these bags. That's how his belongings were moved from place to place. And as I say this, if you're envisioning some inner city black kid that went through this horrific thing, no, this was a suburban white kid that suffered the same neglect, the same abuse. He was housed with people that weren't there to try to give him a good life. They were there just to get the money from the state. And he came up with that charity because of what he experienced, the shame and the embarrassment of having to walk out of the house, being passed on to another family with all of his belongings in garbage bags. It kind of reminds me of Prince Harry leaving a private school. Prince Harry leaving a school filled with aristocrats with his belongings in a bin liner. That's what it reminds me of. And that's why when I see that photo of Prince Harry, I almost lose it sometime. That is, and especially when you consider he's one of the people that it's not supposed to happen to. He was just so happy to get out of there. He didn't care. He was smiling. But the principle of it. Oh, Gwendolyn Daniels, you saw that? Yeah. Yeah, that nearly tore me apart when I saw that story. That nearly tore me apart. The things that kids go through. Let's see. Beverly McCaskill says, with all the immigrants that came into this city, is that Philadelphia? Is that along with all the people who are shrugged out, strung out? Okay, strung. Yeah, okay, strung out on drugs. This winter is going to be so sad, and there is going to be a lot of crime and hunger. Well, I do know some people that, one of my best friend's moms. I think she has been working with the Venezuelan community. Um, yeah, so there are some people that have actually, without any fanfare, that are helping. There are people that are helping, but still, the big roadblock for a lot of people is just housing. There's a housing crisis, and I think the Biden administration just gave Eric Adams, mayor of New York, $100 million to do some things. But I tell you what, you guys, and this includes myself. Uh, there's more than that we can do than being morally outraged. We can help. So, and trust me, I'm not about to start a charity, but I would say just try to seek out a way to do something, even if it's, financially. Um, I would be a bit overwhelmed by that, which is why you guys have not seen me do anything like that. I'll recommend them and such, but I don't want the responsibility of having to do that myself. Yeah, there's just so much that can go wrong with that, especially for my situation because, um, I don't ask for anybody's personal anything because I don't even want a whiff of impropriety. I'd rather not have that. And something like that, all you need is for some deranger to start making accusations. And that has happened far too many times in the Sussex squad. Um, and it kind of happened recently, and that was hard to hear. But everything seems to have been ironed out. But yeah, there's a lot of personalities, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So, and it wasn't that anybody was, you know, taking anything. It was just wheels and personalities got in the way. But I think that's behind us now. Let me see. Oh, you went and checked it out. 70 to 80% of Japanese have a favorable opinion of their monopoly. Oh, that one you checked out. Okay. Okay. But still, it doesn't speak about how they feel about the princess that left. That's the one that I'm interested in, not how they feel about their imperial royal family, but how do they feel about what is her name, Princess Mako? Because I know what the tabloids said, but I don't know how people feel. And I do not consider tabloids and royal reporters people. Those are not people. They are royal rodents. They are royal rodents. And fortunately, there are ways to rid the world of royal rodents. You don't have to do anything to them. If they can, have you ever heard that those feral cats that they have running around cities, if they just smell a whiff of a feline, they want nothing to do. So I think what we have to do is just release some cats, or maybe try to get like some kind of spray that will make them think that cats are near. In this case, spray would be lawsuits, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to continue then. Beverly says, my minister at church goes out twice a month to give to homeless and try to help those on drugs. Oh my goodness, that is lovely. That is lovely. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me take that away. Oh, there it is right there. And I will continue. Um, so let's see. Oh, by the way, here's a snapshot of how the bottle has evolved over time. There was that one that looks like a crown, and they continued with the crown. And then, of course, by the 1970s, they got rid of that very, I would say, German looking cross at the top. They got rid of that, and they just went with the round top. And now, believe it or not, you see that bottle on the left? They don't even make an effort. They don't even make an effort. That's the bottle. Look at how cheap it looks. I mean, it's elegant, but it's just not as. But I guess you have to change with the times. And also, to complete this trip to the past that we just took, take a look there. Now, I would say that looks like Paul Newman, doesn't it? That looks like Paul Newman. This is a 1963 ad for Windsong. And I do apologize in advance if that song is stuck in your heads, but uh, when I take a trip down memory lane, I want to take everybody with me. S, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Alma Andrews, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you both for watching Royal Sussex. I can't seem to forget you. Everybody join me. Your wind song stays on my mind. One more time. I can't seem to forget you. Big finish. Your wind song stays on my mind. Your wind song stays on my mind. Okay, so oh man. Okay, so take a look here. Let us not forget about the charities that the Sussexes have supported, like this one right here. She got the job. We are excited to announce that our recent client has got the job as a clinical support worker. We wish her the best of luck in her new role. Join us in congratulating her. Well, congratulations. She looks very smart. She looks very confident and elegant, and I am very, very happy that she got the position. So SmartWorks is still doing what SmartWorks does. They are helping people get their dignity back by getting a job. For some people, it's like a loss of dignity when they don't work. And having a job gives people lots and lots of self-esteem. So it's an incredible way to help people. What is that? Let me see. I hate to admit it, but all those old tunes you sing, I know too. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I when I see stuff like that, I get all excited. It makes me feel young. Makes me feel young. It makes me feel happy and optimistic. Oh yes, absolutely. She looks awesome. You guys remember when Megan was helping that lady put the outfit together? I think Megan told the story that the lady she was trying to help her put an outfit together, and Megan recommended a bag. She said, "Well, why don't you try to match it with this bag right here? Yeah, you see if you." And the lady was like, "Ugh, I don't like that one, not that bag." And it was a bag that Megan had donated herself. It was a bag that Megan had donated, and the lady was just like, "Well, no thanks. I'd rather chew broken glass than to carry that bag anywhere. No thanks." Uh, let's see. Am I going back too far? Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. I when I see like an old commercial pop up on the YouTube, then all of a sudden I'm googling and researching, trying to remember, or in some cases I just go in the other room and I'm like, oh yeah, I still have that. So you never know. You never know. And right here, Sinead O'Connor was remembered Tuesday for bringing joy to countless people of the world. I'm sorry, the people the world over, should I say, and then honored by emotional fans who thronged the streets of the Irish coastal town she had called home. They sang Nothing Compares to You as a hearse passed by carrying the singer's casket to his final resting place. So, yeah, we kind of lost track of everything Sinead because of all the other news that came out. But yeah, they just had the burial, the funeral, I guess, and the burial today. So here's to you, Sinead. I'm going to give you a bell. And then I came across this interesting situation here. Leah McGrath Goodman is a best selling author, historian, and award winning investigative journalist whose controversial book, The Asylum: The Renegades Who Hijacked the World's Oil Market, exposed the decades long pattern of complicity and corruption between Wall Street and Washington that permanently destabilize the global energy market. So she's not popular with a lot of people, and I do mean a lot of people. Um, you won't believe what happened to her. According to a tweet earlier today, for those who've followed along for years, as I was repeatedly blocked, interrogated, and officially banned from entering the UK as I began researching its monarch's control of tax shelters, please note even British researchers are stopped from asking questions about behavior or actions of the royal family. Andrew Lonnie's story here and mine in the tweet below is one photo, my first passport stamp that barred me from entering UK and the common travel area, which includes tax havens like Jersey and Guernsey. As a journalist, I also received plenty of threatening letters from UK authorities. Why? Isn't that something? She has been interrogated, threatened, and so on for asking questions. And, you know, this is one of those things that is a talking point that I've heard Pedo speak about so many times. And I was like, wow. You know, it's one thing to hear Pedo talk about it, but when you see, you know, something like this, it's just like, wow, it is true. It is very true. And Pedo, as I said so many times, she is always right on the money. It's amazing how she pulls all these threads to find a story. But yeah, she has been barred on occasion. I don't know if she's permanently barred, but banned from entering the UK as I began researching monarchs control over tax shelters. And you guys may remember hearing Petal talk about Jersey and Guernsey. Yeah, well, this is one of the people that have been asking questions, and they have been, um, I guess, threatening to her and obstructing her. Now, the guy that she's speaking about, the guy, let me see, what is his name? Let me see here. Andrew Lonnie. This is the guy that wanted to do the research into Louis Mountbatten. And if you guys remember, Louis Mountbatten was known to have a very dodgy history, and he was trying to use the British Freedom of Information Act, whatever they call it, to get letters that have been exchanged between Mountbatten and other people. And of course, you probably have seen on We On Television where they said that uh, a lot of the letters would actually explain a lot of bloodshed, a lot of tears, or plain atrocities that have happened in India, because the last viceroy of India was Lord Louis Mountbatten. And so the letters, of course, would prove embarrassing. So they have released some things, but then there's still a huge block of letters that they won't release ever if they can help it. So it always makes you wonder, why don't they just get rid of it? But I guess that's not the point. But yeah, so there's a lot of incriminating evidence, and there's also a lot of letters that have been destroyed, especially when it comes to Africa. I believe it was in particular Nigeria. There's a lot of letters that speaks of atrocities in Africa that will never see the light of day because they were destroyed. They were destroyed. The Mau Mau uprising, all of that is gone. All of that is gone. They destroyed that stuff. So there's a lot of things that we will never know about, but then there is some things that is more than just someone bearing witness. See, I think they hope that the people will die out before anything else is ever said about it or anything can be proved. But yeah, that is what happened to her. So you guys, I said I had an Invictus update, and I do. Check it out. Invictus Games Dusseldorf 2023. I don't know if you've seen this before or not, but there is an Invictus channel. And according to one of the squaddies, you should be able to watch things like the opening and closing ceremony. Let me find a link for that channel. You know, I did everything but save the link. But that's okay. I watched it earlier, and as a matter of fact, I subscribed to it. So let me get the link, and I will put it at the top of the chat so that you will be able to watch the Invictus Games. And I'm pretty sure the opening and closing ceremonies. So there's that one. Now to put it at the top of the chat. Oh yeah, I do have to open up another screen. Okay, give me a second. Okay, open up another screen. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. Okay. Oh, and to answer the question yesterday that I had about, I found out that Sandra Bullock's partner was actually a model. He was actually a model before he became a photographer. Remember, I was saying, where did he come from? I had never heard of him before. Well, unfortunately, he passed away, but he was a model before he became a photographer. And 57 years old. 57 years old. And Sandra Bullock, bless her heart, is 59 years old. She looks good. 59 years old. She looks good. And I've always been a fan of Sandra Bullock. I love her. But yeah, 59 years old, and she looks amazing. Very talented young lady, too. Okay, so there is that. It's at the top of the chat. So make sure you subscribe to the link for the Invictus games so that as the videos come out, you will have it. So this right here is a channel for Invictus 2023. You can see they have, how many is that? Yeah, well, anyway, you can see they have a bunch of videos. They have, what is it, 38? No, almost 40 videos. Yeah, they have a bunch of videos. And so subscribe and you'll be able to keep up. Oh, great, Yellow Rose Tea. You'll be able to keep up with it. I don't know why. I'm only just finding this, and the squatty that shared it, I would have thought they would have known before everybody, and I've only just seen them put it up there. Well, Church Nelly, that's between them and them. That's between them and them. Oh, are you talking? Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Not the one that just passed away. The other one, the one that everybody said was the R word. Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that was an evil. I'm glad she found somebody nice. That was an evil individual, evil, sinister. Invictus Games, a home for respect, Dusseldorf, 2022. And for those of you that stayed late yesterday, I had so much fun watching the video. I really enjoyed that. You guys that left early yesterday, I do apologize. I could not figure out what the title of the video was. And sometimes I can't remember. Well, I did eventually figure it out, and I was able to find it and share it with everyone. So my apologies to those that left early, but it was like an 18-minute video, and we just sat here watching it. Really, really good. So let me see here. Oh, you're welcome, Yellow Rose Tea. Let me see here. Oh, let me see. Some of them have been coming up in my feed. Been looking at some of them about German athletes. Very cool. Glad to hear that. Oh, yeah. Jesse James. Even the name was just foul, wasn't it? Jesse James. Yeah. Even the name was just shady. Oh, the shade. Oh, wait. There it is right there. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Wait. Is it? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking for something. Yeah, poor Sandra. Okay, yeah, there we are. Yeah, so this is her partner. They never married, but this is her partner that just passed away. That Silver Fox. What is his name? Brian Randall. Brian Randall. He was a model, and then he became a photographer. So if you want to see some of his photos from his modeling career, just look up Brian Randall, and you'll see he actually has been a part of some pretty big ad campaigns. All right, so back over here. Right? I'm just like, well, I said it yesterday. I mean, that's too bad. That's too bad. How come it couldn't have been the other one? I mean, I shouldn't say that. But why it couldn't have been the evil one? Why not that evil one? Okay, now, opening, closing ceremony, 9 and 16th, 9 through the 16th. I'm sorry, the 9th and the 16th is the opening and closing ceremony, and you should be able to watch it on that channel. Oh, yes. You're absolutely right. I will do that. Thank you, Beverly. I will do that. And I know someone's going to remind me later. So somebody, I will do that. just in case I forget. Okay. All right. And take a look here. So, Amazon, movers and shakers and books. Meet Me at the Lake House. Well, the book, Meet Me at the Lake House, is now at #1 on Amazon in the author's native Canada. It was number 25 yesterday. Today it is #1. That is that Sussex magic. There you are. Anything the Sussexes touch just turns to gold. And so the book is #1 in Canada on the Amazon list. And then over here on the left, you can see that the sales are up 442%. It went ranked at 35th. No, it ranked at 35th, but it was at 190. So the sales of the book is very, very strong right now. Okay, wrong direction. And as you can see, the prosecutor for Donald Trump, the prosecutor, I guess either he was trying to figure out where to sit or he's sending a message to the MAGA people not to mess with him. I think nowadays I will never look at a folding chair in the same way, ever. If somebody walked towards me with a folding chair, I would be like, can we talk about this? Or what did I do? What did I do? And poor Mitch McConnell, poor Mitch McConnell, he got a very raucous welcome from some of his constituents. I repeat, he received a very raucous welcome from some of his constituents. He went to give a speech, and everything was going okay until he started talking. And then when he started talking, everything wasn't so okay. It was probably the most embarrassing moment of his career, one of many, I'm sure. So let me get that for you. Poor Mitch. Okay, poor Mitch. Talk about not reading the room. Talk about not reading the room. Now, Mitch McConnell is the one who denied President Obama the ability to do something that every president has done, and that is appoint a Supreme Court justice. Justice, what was it, Alito or whatever his name was, had died. And he said, well, since we're so close to the next election, we're not. And so what did we go, like 9 months without a Supreme Court justice? Anyway, it was a long time. It was pretty shady of him. It showed a complete lack of respect for the authority of the president. It was definitely all about politics, about party, tribalism. That's it. It was tribalism. It wasn't even about a political party. It was tribalism. And it was, I believe, the first time something like that had ever happened. Usually, if they're not going to seat a justice, then they will find another candidate. They wouldn't even allow him the dignity of doing that. They just refused. Now, let's see. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm trying to think. I don't think that's ever happened before, ever. Now, and then of course, Merrick Garland, who was the name put forth or submitted by Barack Obama, was already, and I want you guys to remember this, especially people not from the U.S., almost 99.9999% of the time, nowadays, of course, when they submit a name for the Supreme Court, it is someone who already serves as as a federal court judge. They're usually a federal court judge. Almost always. It's been the last time we've had a Supreme Court justice that was not even a lawyer, let alone, oh, wait, he may have been a lawyer, but he had never served as a judge before. And I can't remember his name, but almost always, in the past 40 years, 50 years, 40 years, when they select a Supreme Court justice, they are already a federal judge. So why am I saying that? That means that they have already been vetted by the FBI, by the Secret Service, by anybody who would think that they're a threat. They have looked at their taxes, they have looked at all their affiliations and found them to be credible as a Supreme Court justice. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, the same thing. She was already a federal judge, which means that both parties agreed that she was worthy to be in a federal court. She was placed on the bench with the with the Senate's approval. So when you see these big theatrical performances where they're asking these judges all these questions, even the Republican judges, to be fair, they already know that person. They already have been a judge in the federal courts. So it's all a bunch of theater. It is all a bunch of pandering and theater. It is totally unnecessary. You either vote for them or you don't. So it's a chance for everybody to show their constituents that they're doing their jobs. And that's it. So that should not have happened. Merrick Garland should have been placed on the Supreme Court. And this evil individual who, fortunately, so when I say that he got what he deserved, he got what he deserved. This is the man who allowed Donald Trump to speak in certain ways about Asian American people, even though his wife is from China. All of those nasty things that you heard Donald Trump say, Donald Trump's wife, and she ain't no better. She ain't no better because she quit just before he left office. She didn't quit before all the, with all the other things that happened. She waits until the January 6th to leave. That's when she grew a backbone. So they're two of a kind. His wife is from China, and he's from one of the poorest states in the Union, Kentucky, a state that takes more from the federal government than what it receives. But in spite of that, he is the head of the Senate. He's the senior ranking senator. So not the head of the Senate, but he was the head of the Senate. Now he's the Senate minority leader. Oh, wait a minute. Is he minority or majority? Yeah, he's minority leader. Okay, whatever. I'm starting to confuse myself. So let me move on. And I am going to submit the last word of the day. Here is the last word of the day. It's weird being the same age as old people. I repeat, it's weird being the same age as old people. And I'm like, um, I think I think that the president of the United States, President Obama, was just slightly older than slightly older than me. And when I realized that, I'm like, wait a minute. I've never been the same age as the president. So I suppose there at some point I am actually going to be older than the president of the United States. I may be older than the vice president. Let me think about that. But I'm not looking forward to that day. But yeah, so there you go. That is the last word of the day. And of course, there's our queens. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. And I just noticed that I do have a list today, so I will share that list. Retire, retire, retire. You guys, I have been laughing myself silly about all of these memes and videos and parodies of that riverboat fight. I would put them together and make a complete thing for it, but I'm going to be too busy with the Sussexes in the coming days, so I just won't have time to do it. But yeah, there's some funny stuff out there. Deidre Mikey says, Baron. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, missed it. Baron, I'm there as well. Senior menu prices are cool. Have you had anybody get up for you on public transportation? Oh, man. I'm getting to that point, and I won't dye my hair. I promise you, I won't dye my hair. I don't want to look like a dictator. Okay, so Elaine Parker, thank you very much. RH from PayPal, thank you very much. And Joy Moore, Kay, thank you for the Cash App. And S, thank you for the. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was a super sticker. And Omer Andrews. I feel like I'm missing one or two, right? No, maybe not. Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy. Oh my God, it's Tuesday. I got so much stuff to do. But happy Tuesday to you. I'm getting some maintenance done tomorrow. So I got to clear out of my laundry room. I had to clear out the laundry room. Oh man, well, it's an excuse to throw stuff away, isn't it? Like a empty detergent bottle that fell behind. You know what? I have them do that. I'm sure there's a couple of empty detergent bottles that fell behind the washer. I'd be like, young man, do you mind? And yeah, and then give them a butterscotch or $5. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Big Mama, let me see here. He voted against affirmative action because it made him feel insecure when he was in college. He's like Louis in Suits. Oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, one of the worst people ever, and one of the worst looking people ever. If you don't mind me being terribly superficial. Okay. Good night, Gwendolyn Daniels. Okay. Butterscotch and peppermint. Well, I was kidding about the butterscotch. I usually keep Ricolas. Mint lemon mint flavor. Sugar-free lemon mint. It is the best. I promise you. If you're having any sinus, cough, something like that, try those lemon mints. Oh, okay. A little Trenchtown. Okay, let's get down with Trenchtown. Let's get down with Trenchtown. I hope Trenchtown Man pops up on Will and Kate's vacation, even if they're not vacationing together.
Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
That Trenchtown, man. I would love to see the face behind that very, very deep voice. Hey, Prince. Oh, man. Hey, Prince. Good night, Beverly. Okay. Thank you. Well, you guys, it's gonna get busy. So Harry, tomorrow, let me see. Yeah, tomorrow, which is already tomorrow in Tokyo. Oh, that means we may get some photos and stuff later tonight. Some photos and videos tonight. Let me see. What time is it in Tokyo? Hey Siri, what time is it in Tokyo? Oh, it's 10 a.m., you guys. It's 10 a.m. in Tokyo. Huh. Let me go and take a look at Twitter before I leave. Might be something on there. Okay, I'm just going to take a little scroll through Twitter. Just in case. I mean, it's still, still kind of early for pictures, but it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo. Have you seen Prince Harry? Know how they used to have those commercials? It's 9 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Remember that scary commercial from childhood? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Well, it's 10 a.m. Where is Prince Harry? Okay, well, so far I don't see anything, you guys. Not a darn thing. Okay, nothing to be seen yet, but I'm going to check before I go to bed. I'm going to check before I go to bed just to see. Wow, where is this photo from? Okay. All right, good night, everyone. Say good night. I am just going to kill a little time here scrolling through, but please don't stay awake. I don't see anything. I doubt if I'm going to see anything, but I'm just being nosy and curious all at the same time, just in case there's something. I had a dream there was folding chairs flying. Alabama. They shouldn't mess around with black folks. Alabama. They shouldn't mess around with black folks. Well, you went on to a riverboat ride. Okay, that song needs some work, don't it? That song definitely needs a little work. Oh, that's interesting. Good night, you all. Don't stay up too late. Although it is still I did finish kind of early today, didn't I? It's not like 11 p.m. tonight. But in spite of that, I'm going to go. Okay, you guys. So I don't see anything. I looked. I don't see nothing. but I'm going to check again before I go to bed. And if there's any video that I can share, I will upload it and you will see it first thing tomorrow. So I'm going to do as I was instructed. I am going to put that link on the community tab before I forget about it. And the easiest way for me to forget is all I need is for somebody to say, hi, hey, did I tell you about that time I went to Europe? Oh, man. Oh, it was 7:13 Rocky Mountain time. Very cool. Very cool. So, do you get to see mountains when you look out? The first time that I ever stayed someplace where there was actually mountains that I could see, I believe it was in Las Vegas, and I was just in awe because being from the Midwest, you don't see stuff like that. I was just in awe of the mountains. I mean, I've flown over them, but to you know, ride down the street and there's this big wall in the distance is very strange for me. And then what I love about the mountains is that throughout the day, the sun makes the mountains turn purple and blue or gray. It's like a different mood throughout the day. That's what is so beautiful about mountains is that it has a different mood to it. On an overcast day, there's another mood, and it almost seems like you're in another place. Oh wow, Alicia, that is nice. That is nice. I'm so jealous. Oh, thank you, Lydia. Please hit the thumbs up. And remember, there is a link at the top of the chat for the Invictus games. I will add it to the community tab. But in the meantime, there's that. And also, while you're going through the community tab, go ahead and look for the Sussex Squad fundraiser. I have no idea what it is today, but I'm sure it's something special. But yeah, look for that. And if you can, donate. If not, share it with other people. Yeah, share with other people. Okay, love you guys. Good night, and I will see you all tomorrow. You're so vain. Yeah, I bet you think this song is about you. You're so vain.